Hey, welcome. My name is Kelsey. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I want to do a get ready with me. I've been accumulating some new makeup recently. Oops. And I want to try it. I mean, a lot of these things I have tried, but I thought it'd be fun to try them all at once on camera, because, I mean, YouTube, why not? So I have this giant bag full of products that are like probably new within like the last month. I've been having a bit of like a shopping issue recently. Even though I honestly have not been wearing a lot of makeup recently, but it's fun to try new things. And I've been going through makeup, so that's good. So starting off, I'm using this Juno&Co moisturizer. It's called the Moonshine Miracle Cream. It's like a moisturizer and a primer in one. I was sent this from Juno&Co. I feel like they're kind of making the rounds on YouTube right now. I saw someone else using it the other day and I was like, oh, I think they're just trying to get the word out about this product. It is quite interesting. I have been really liking it. And it's kind of funny because I had never really tried a product like this where it's like a moisturizer and primer in one. And then literally, like, I had been emailed about this and was like, sure, I'll try it, but not really knowing what it was. I thought it was more just like a moisturizer. And I had actually bought another moisturizer from Lash that's like a similar thing. And I'm going to use that actually on top of this. I've never layered the two, but when I'm trying new things, I want to try all of them, right? This one is really moisturizing and like creamy, but it doesn't leave me feeling oily or anything. As far as the priming goes, I don't feel like it honestly provides like a ton of priming benefits. I feel like it does provide like a nice like tackiness to put your makeup on with, but besides that, I don't feel like it helps with pores. I don't feel like it really like makes your makeup last any longer. So we're gonna try this combo today because, again, more is more. And this is the product that I picked up from Lush. This is the Magical Moringa. It's a beauty balm. So it says that it mattifies and primes skin with silky argan and moringa oils. I got this, I got both of these products probably within the same week. This one I purchased. And it's really like dense. So the other one was really creamy. This one's like it's like a balm. It's really interesting, but I really enjoy this one. But I'm just gonna take a touch of this and kind of put it in the areas that I want to mattify and like cover some pores, because I do feel like this one helps with that pretty well. I finally got around to buying the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer and the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Creamy Concealer. I feel like I've heard so much about these products, and I was at Ulta a few weeks ago and was just like, you know what, I want to try a new like foundation concealer line, and I thought this would be a nice one to try. There's definitely not a lot of coverage to either of these products. These two together do add a little bit more coverage. I mean, this isn't like a full coverage product by any means, but it is nice. It adds like a nice kind of just like all over kind of glow to your skin. The only issue is I think this might be breaking me out. I'm not totally sure. I haven't had an issue with the concealer, I think, but I think the foundation might be breaking me out. But I've only tried it like twice, and so I guess today will be another trial period, I guess. I've also been really tempted by the CoverGirl Clean foundation, the like new one that they kind of redid. I mean, I guess it's not super new now. Recently, a few months ago, it's like in the pink packaging. I haven't tried a CoverGirl foundation in like maybe ever, actually. I'm like trying to think. I'm like, actually, no, they're like old school clean foundation. I did try that a long time ago, but I haven't tried anything recently, and I'm kind of afraid. Just for reference, I do have this tinted moisturizer in the shade Fair 4N. I think the N is for neutral. I usually go for like a neutral foundation shade and concealer shade. They tend to be the most flattering for my skin tone, but I do think it's maybe a little bit light for me right now. I have been trying to spend a lot of time outside, just with like everything going on. The sunshine makes me happy and brings me joy, and so I try to spend as much time outside as possible, but I've also been getting a smidge tan, and you can probably tell by my watch tan line. Super cute, right? I'm trying to decide if I want to add more at all or if I just want to stop here and go in with concealer. I feel like from what I've experienced with this product, I feel like less is kind of more. I kind of feel that way with like really low coverage products like this, like the Glossier Skin Tint. I feel like once you start building it up, it just kind of looks weird. This, I feel the same way. I feel like building it up kind of makes it wear off faster as well. So I feel like just like a light layer all over is kind of the way to go for this, with me at least. Maybe it's just because my skin is kind of oily and so it doesn't do well with a lot of the product, but with just a little bit kind of all over, it is pretty nice. But I definitely, like, it didn't really add a ton of coverage. It kind of evened out my skin tone all over, but I definitely still have like my pimple spots and like things I want to cover. So I'm going to go in with the concealer. I haven't noticed that this like dries fast or anything, so I usually just kind of go and cover all the spots I want coverage on and then blend it out. Again, this one I have it in the shade Fair 20N, and I think I could have gone a little bit darker with it, although again I am a little bit tanner than normal, and I do feel like it oxidizes pretty quick, and so it does kind of darken up a little bit once you apply it, and so it's an okay shade. Yeah, it's fine. But I do feel like after I put both of these products on, my skin looks very white, like it like needs some color. So I know I haven't really been super consistent with my videos recently. I've just been feeling, I mean, the last video that I filmed, I haven't even edited yet. I feel like it has less to do with like not having enough time, which I have been really busy with work recently, and it's just been like a weird season and stuff going on. But it's been more of like a mental thing for me. I feel like I needed a little bit of a break from creating, but taking a break from creating and then starting to be creative again is like a really weird process. I don't know if you've ever like done anything artsy or like creative. Maybe it's like photography or making things or doing whatever. Once you stop, it's so hard to get going again and like to feel that inspiration of like wanting to do it, because I do feel like there's like almost this like high. There's probably some endorphins that get released whenever you are doing something creative, that it feels good in your brain. So once you're doing it, it's great, but like once you, it's just like, it's been hard for me to get to doing this again. And I've just been like pushing it off, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, it's been like 3 weeks since I've put a YouTube video up. Whoops. And I want that to change again. I feel like for a while I was getting really consistent and I really enjoyed doing it, but it's also really hard when you're not seeing the results you expected. And I think that's something I'm kind of trying to like come to terms with in my brain, is like, I didn't start a YouTube channel to like have a bajillion subscribers or anything. I wanted to do this because I wanted it to be a creative outlet. I wanted it to be something that was fun for me. I love makeup. I love talking about makeup. I love talking about other things I talk about on my channel, whether it's bullet journaling or like traveling or just things that I've made videos on the past. Thrifting is a huge one. And so I wanted to just talk about those things, not to like do it to make money or anything. I mean, it'd be awesome to make money on YouTube. I has not done that, but it would be really cool. But it's also like, it's hard to put a lot of effort into something and then to not see like very many people enjoying what you're doing, I guess. And so that's been something I've also been struggling with, is just like, I've just been feeling a little down. So I'm trying to get out of that funk a little bit, but it's, again, like I said, it's hard to get back in the rhythm of things. Powder, I'm just setting with this CoverGirl True Blend, like, what is this called? Translucent powder, translucent pressed powder, whatever. I need to add some color to my face drastically, but I need to kind of set things down because this combo is quite oily and like moves around throughout the day if I do not set it pretty well. And so I really need to like get in and set things like all over. A lot of times I'll just set in like the T-zone or areas that I know might kind of break up throughout the day. This one just needs a lot of setting. But I do feel like that concealer added a nice amount of like coverage. So I've been enjoying that concealer for sure. The tinted moisturizer I'm like not still kind of sold on. I think it's good, but again, it might be breaking me out, so I'm not totally sure. So I've been really into like the backwards way of doing like highlight, blush, and bronzer. So instead of doing like bronzer, then blush, then highlight, I've been really enjoying highlight, blush, then bronzer. I do think it makes it just look more natural and like makes it come together a little bit better. I don't have a new bronzer or highlight that I'm trying, but I do have a new blush palette from Milani. Again, maybe not new to me though. For highlight, I'm using the Balm Mary Luminizer. I have this little highlight palette, really pretty, but I pretty much just use Mary Luminizer because the other ones are kind of some different colors that don't go super well with my skin. But Mary Luminizer, it's a classic, nothing too crazy, but definitely glowy. So for blush, I've got this Milani blush palette. This is the Rose Powder Blush. They're like the rose blushes. If you couldn't guess already. I have it in the shade 2 Floral Fantasy. I don't know which shades are in here, if these are like normal colors that they sell or if it's just in this palette. I think they have 2 different shades of this palette. The other one was more like pinky tones. This one was more like neutral shades, and I'm much more of like a neutral blush kind of girl. So I think I'm gonna go in with this middle shade. This one's been kind of like my go-to. I think it has a slight like satin finish to it. I can't totally tell. It's definitely not shimmery, but it's not matte either. This is just a Real Techniques blush brush. Yeah, I really like this. This color is so nice. It kind of almost has like a bronzer kind of effect on the skin. Like it's not really pink, it's almost kind of more of like a brown tone, and so it just kind of adds this like warmth to your skin, which I enjoy. I think that's a great look for me. And I do really enjoy that formula. I've used all 3 of the blushes in there. They're all really nice and pigmented, but not overly pigmented, and blend really well. They're not patchy, they just look really nice on the skin. For bronzer, I'm using this Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. This is in the shade 01 Natural. I kind of chose to use this for a few reasons. I haven't really used this recently, but I feel like I've heard so many people talk about the new Essence bronzer palette. That's like the Sun Club bronzer palette. And I think this is one of the colors in there, and everyone's been like, this bronzer is so great. And I'm like, I think I have that, but just in like a single, and it's giant, and so I should use it again. And so this is using it. Just using the same brush, tapping into the bronzer. I enjoy a lot of Essence products. The issue I come across with Essence, and part of it is because it's so inexpensive, is the packaging just is terrible in a lot of their products. Like, I've had so many Essence products break on me just from the packaging break, because it's cheap and not made super well. But it's also, like, I think this is like $3, but you can tell it's already like breaking. Like, the top is kind of breaking here where it comes together. And I don't think I've traveled with this. I haven't used it a ton. It's just sat in my vanity and gotten used occasionally. And that's kind of the theme with all Essence products that I have, for the most part. Now we're getting some color coming to life again. I do think that looks really nice. It's a great tone. It does look a little bit warm, but again, it's a bronzer. It's not like a contour shade. I love a warm bronzer. I think it just adds so much like life and dimension to your skin. It makes you look like you spent a lot of time outside. What else could you want from a bronzer? And this is matte, but I don't feel like it looks really like flat or like chalky on the skin. It looks really nice and not satiny, but just, it looks like you got a tan somehow and like it's just coming through. And so I really enjoy this bronzer. After I apply my bronzer, I know a lot of people like the like bronzer on the cheek look. I just kind of go with my brush and like blend everything out. I don't really like harsh lines with my brush, blush, bronzer, or highlight. I just want it all to like melt into my skin, and so I just swirl it all around and hope it works. Success. For eyes, I have a new eyeshadow palette to try out. This is a little guy from NYX. I haven't tried a ton of eyeshadows from NYX, and what I have tried has been super hit or miss. I saw this at Ulta a few weeks ago when I got those ColourPop things, and they had like a new ultimate like 35 pan palette, I think is how many are in there, and it was beautiful, like breathtaking, like I kind of wanted it, but it was also like $35, and I was like, I don't really like big palettes, so I'll probably skip it. And then I saw that they had one of their like smaller, how many are in there, like 16 pan palettes, where they're like little tiny shadows, and it was like the same ultimate one, but it was like the 16 one, and I was like, that's also pretty, but it was also like $18. And then I saw they had this one, which is the ultimate edit, so it's like the more condensed version, and this is just a 6-pan palette. And I saw it and was like, I don't know if I like it. I'll just skip it for now. And then I was at Target the other day and I saw this again, and it just stuck out to me. I really liked the colors in here. I think it's really unique. This color theme, I don't feel like I have anything like this in my collection. And so I thought it'd be really fun. I mean, it being like a small little palette, I think this is like $6 or so. And so I kind of wanted to try it. I did use it yesterday, but I did a very simple look. And so today I thought I would go in with like this green shadow, maybe a little bit of purple, and I think we're gonna have a little fun. But I do need to prime my eyes first. I'm using the Milani eyeshadow primer. I've had this for a while. Nothing new to see here, but it's a solid primer. So I'm just gonna go straight into this like greeny, coppery color. I love colors like this. Oh, so pretty. I'm just gonna put that all over my lid. Yes. It's a little glittery, but it also looked glittery in the pan, so it's not like something I wasn't totally expecting. But there is some chunks of glitter. I'm just kind of pulling that up into the crease a smidge. That's really pretty. I'm gonna go into this pink color here and use it as like a transition shade. It's a little powdery. Ooh. This is the color I used yesterday. I just kind of like used it all over. I'm going in with a little bit of a lighter hand today, and I kind of like the way it looks with that like green color. It's really pretty. That's what I liked about this small little palette, was that it wasn't all one color. Like, it's not all pinky colors or orangey colors or like nudes. There's a bunch of different shades in here, but I feel like they all work really well together. And so I was just kind of drawn to that a little bit. I'm gonna use this little Luxie brush. It's like an angled brush. I really like this for like working in the outer corner. I'm gonna go into the deep purpley color. Excited to try this one. Tappy tappy. See how it goes over the glitter. It's kind of a colorful eye look today for me. I'm just dragging that through the crease to add like a little bit more definition. I'm going back to the fluffy brush and just blending everything together a bit. Going back into the pink shade with the little angled brush, and I'm going on my lower lash line. That shade is pigmented. That like, you just need a tiny bit and it really goes a ways. Definitely have some fallout going on like over here from that goldy green shade. It's all right. Going in with a touch of the purple. I'm just gonna put it on the outer edge. My dog is sleeping and she's having like dreams right now. Hey Sutter. Sutter girl. You dreaming? You good? I think what I'm going to do is take this like creamy shade that's in here and go along my brow bone with that. Just a nice matte highlight up there, kind of clean it up a smidge. And then I'm just holding this Ciate highlighter. I'm just going to take a little bit of that and go in the inner corner. Just like a little highlight, but nothing crazy. I feel like it just kind of pulls the look together a little bit more. So I'm going to do the other eye and I'll be back. Eyeshadow done. That is definitely like a colorful look for me right now. But I think it looks really pretty. It's like colorful, but it's not over the top either. It's pretty. Nice quality for those shadows. The purple, that like deep color, is definitely less pigmented than some of the other ones, but I don't mind that when it's like a really deep shade. I'd rather it be less pigmented than lighter shades. Coffee break. For brows, I do have a new brow pencil. This is from e.l.f. It's the Ultra Precise Brow Pencil, and I have it in the shade Taupe. I feel like I've heard quite a few people talk about this, but I've never tried it. So this was another thing that I picked up at Target the other day. I was just feeling like buying a few new things. And so I did use this yesterday. It's nice. I enjoy the precision of it, but it's not like too thin. Like, I feel like it's not as thin as like the micro brow or anything like that. Like, it's definitely thin, but it's not too thin. It does have some good pigmentation to it as well. Sometimes I feel like with the really thin brow pencils, you have to like really sit there and work with it. This one, it does, you pretty much just draw it on and it works pretty good. I think this is $5 or $6, I don't remember, somewhere right in that range. So far, I like it pretty well. I have this stupid pimple right in the middle of my eyebrows. Go away, no one wants you. To set that, I'm using the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel. I have this in blonde. This is not new, but I did repurchase it semi-recently. It's a good one. For mascara, again, it's nothing new, but this has been my favorite recently. LA Girl Volumatic Full-On Volumizing Lash Lifting Mascara. I have talked about this so much recently, so I'm going to be using this today. This mascara has honestly been probably my favorite mascara I've tried in years, like if not ever. It is so volumizing, so lengthening, does not transfer, lasts all day, is lifting like it says, separating. It's just the most beautiful mascara. So good. And it's like $6. Thanks, LA girl. I would say my only 2 cons about it is a tubing mascara, which makes it not transfer, but it can be a little tricky to get off. And then the second is that I feel like I go through it so fast. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm just using a lot. I don't know. But like, I've never gone through mascara this fast before. This is my second tube in like the last 4 months maybe, and this is like almost gone. Like the first coat is good. Second coat just like takes it up a notch. Just adds so much more volume. The second coat. It can maybe get a little spidery looking, but honestly that's something I don't really care about. Now to finish this whole look, I just need to finish off with a lip. This is another thing I just got from Target the other day. I've only tried it once, and I tried it on like right before I got ready for bed and then washed it off. But this is the Milani Keep It Full Nourishing Lip Plumper, and it's in the shade 01 Champagne. And it just looks like this really pretty like lip gloss. It's kind of pinky gold. It just looks like the perfect shade of lip gloss. And I feel like I've heard really good things about this formula. It is kind of a nude color. I probably should have put a lip liner on or something, but oh well. Do feel like it plays well with this eye look. It's like a nice muted shimmery color. It does have like a weird smell. It's semi-minty, but there's something like earthy about it that just kind of throws me off. So it's not my favorite scent, but I do think it does look really nice and like juicy. It's not super plumping, or at least not yet. I know when I tried it on the other night, it took like a few minutes for it to like set in. It's a little thick feeling, but I think it looks really good. So this is my look for today. I think it's really cute. I'm happy with this look. A little outside my comfort zone, but I like it. I used to be really afraid of doing like a more natural face, or like not a full coverage face with like a colorful eye or like more intense eye look, but now I kind of like the like juxtaposition look of it, where it like doesn't look like there's a lot going on your skin, but then like this kind of intense eye look. I think it just kind of looks kind of different and kind of like high fashion-y. I don't know. I like it. A lot of times I just don't do eyeshadow and kind of do brows and mascara, and that's it. But it's a nice change up for today. It's my day off. I'm meeting a friend. We're gonna go do some thrifting and hang out at a coffee shop. So I'm happy. I'm probably gonna wipe this lip off any minute because I have to wear a mask. So enjoy it while you can. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this get ready with me. I'd love to hear about any new products you've tried out. I've been really enjoying trying different things recently, stepping outside my comfort zone. So if there's anything that you would recommend, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. But thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. Would love to have you around. And until next time, bye guys.